Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is the 2023 Alfa Romeo Tonale. This miniature SUV crossover marks a future step for the Alfa Romeo brand and offers a couple of very unique powertrains, including a plug-in hybrid. I was invited out today to Dallas, Texas to check out this, the one and only Alfa Romeo Tonale in the States as of this moment, in this beautiful green color, and this one is the Speciale model. And in this video, I will give you a quick tour of what makes this one so special. All right, Gearheads, starting up front, you get a very prominent Alfa Romeo grille, letting everyone know on the road around you that you are truly in something special. Even though this is the smallest Alfa you can buy for 2023, that does not make this any less of a statement vehicle. So you get the bold, prominent, very unique Alfa Romeo grille here. A lot of black work up front that goes between gloss and satin. I really like the contrast up here. And then you get full LED headlights with sequential turn signals. I absolutely love the look of these turn signals, and the running lights when the vehicle is turned on. Gives it a very nice, very classy, very recognizable look up front. Flanking the Alfa Romeo grille, you do have a little bit of inlets here as well to let a little more air in to the engine. And the engine is actually an interesting story because this vehicle will actually offer a plug-in hybrid powertrain, which will give you up to 30 miles of all-electric range, which means you can commute in this thing on a day-to-day, never use a drop of gas, and then load all the gear up and take this one out on a very epic weekend road trip.
Anyway, my name is Dominique. Some of you know me, a lot of you don't know me. I'm the Senior Vice President and Head of Alfa Romeo, Fiat North America. And I think it's important to give you a little bit of an update on where Alfa is, where we were and where we are. And we're going to talk about where we're going as well, before I talk a little bit about Tonale, the main reason we're here. So Alfa Romeo, a lot of people know this, 112-year-old brand. Very few brands in the global world of automotive is 112 years old. And I don't think any of them have been as consistent as Alfa Romeo has been for the DNA that is the vehicle and the brand itself. So from the standpoint of the powertrains, in the North American market, we're going to offer two powertrains. The base vehicle is a 2-liter turbocharged GME engine, 256 horsepower, 279 pound-feet of torque. That's going to be for our Sprint and our TI levels. But this vehicle is also our first electrified vehicle in the Alfa Romeo lineup. In Europe, they've got a mild hybrid and a plug-in hybrid. In the North American market, we're just bringing the plug-in hybrid. The plug-in hybrid for us is 272 horsepower, powered by 90 kilowatt motor driven rear axle, 1.3 turbocharged engine up front, 1,844 pound-feet of torque on the rear axle at 0 RPM. So when you think about the performance of this vehicle, it's not just the drivetrain, it's also the suspension and chassis. McPherson struts all the way around, dual valves on all 4 corners, and on the upper grades we have frequency selectors and amplifiers. All vehicles are all-wheel drive. So from a power and performance point of view, even our base vehicle has the highest in class horsepower and torque. And plug-in hybrid is interestingly not just the electrified version for us, it's the most powerful, highest performing dynamic vehicle as well. The plug-in hybrid is almost an exact 50-50 weight balance front to rear.
Moving along to the side profile of this, I'm 5'10", kind of gives you a approximation of how big this vehicle is. Think BMW X1 or Mercedes GLA. Those are probably going to be the main competition of this vehicle. But in this epic green paint job, I can't tell you the exact name, but I will look it up. The black and green contrast is absolutely on fire for me. I really love the look of this vehicle. 4 doors and a hatch mean that this is a completely usable vehicle for your friends, your family, whatever the case may be. And this does have the smart key access system, so you know you can just hop in and go. When it comes to performance, you get Pirelli P0 tires. These are 20-inch wheels, and yes, you do get some red brake calipers because, after all, this is a performance vehicle because it wears that Alfa Romeo badge.
When you think about chassis development, a lot, I've been asked the question, you know, you guys use rollable slams as platforms, and what does that mean for an Alfa Romeo? Well, it means we made huge modifications. Tread is different, track is different, wheelbase is different. We've added structural reinforcements on this chassis and on the body to add stiffness. We've added vectoring control on the all-wheel drive system. So we've added all the technology, including working with our F1 engineering team on the dynamic tuning of this vehicle. It's kind of nice to have an F1 team.
All right, moving back to the back of the Tonale, this is actually on a shared platform with some smaller global Jeep products, think the Renegade. There is actually a usable amount of space back here, and you do have this hard parcel shelf that helps cover your luggage when the hatch is closed, because you can see it is attached to the hatch here with a couple strings. Underneath the load floor, you do have a false floor that gives you a little bit of extra storage there. You can see this actually will stay in place, allowing you to put some stuff underneath back there. And it is a 2-position floor, so you can drop it down and have even more space underneath. So very interesting and unique storage options back here in the back, and not just resting on one option, but giving you many. You do have a 60/40 split bench rear seat with a center pass-through tunnel, so that'll allow you to get longer items in and still have 2 passengers on the outboard seats. Talking about the styling back here, you do get those 3 sculpted lines with your LED lights back here in the back, LED turn signals, and an LED light bar that runs across the entire width of the back, really echoing the design from up front and really giving the Tonale a very signature look, whether you're coming or going. And I think a lot of people will see you going in this one. Again, you get that nice two-tone, the green and the black. This is actually painted down here. Looks very nice and very classy. It actually got not real exhausts right here. So this is a fake vent for a little bit of decoration, whereas the exhaust actually dumps out underneath. All told, this is a very handsome, compact crossover. Moving inside the Tonale, you can see the Alfa Romeo brand presence is very strong in this one. I absolutely love the gauge cluster and the graphics that they put there to really just show off the new look and identity of the brand with those 3-element headlights, and then obviously showing off that Alfa Romeo grille. You do get a standard Alfa steering wheel here, so flat bottom, very good 10 and 2 grips, paddle shifters as well, because this is, again, an Alfa Romeo. My favorite thing about these paddle shifters are not only are they steering column mounted, but they are actually metal. So the quality and the materials in here is definitely top notch. Start stop button right here on the steering wheel, calling back to that performance, heritage, and lineage, and all around a very cohesive, nice package in here. It will feel very familiar to anyone who has been in or driven an Alfa Romeo previously, and is a very nice, well put together cabin nonetheless. You do get this double hooded gauge cluster, even though you have a full just over 12-inch gauge cluster screen inside there. And then you get just over a 10-inch Uconnect 5 system right here.
On the technology side, and this is where the big pivot comes, because everything I've talked about now is what you expect from Alfa Romeo. But now on the technology side, Jean-Philippe Imperato likes to say, we are not a brand that puts an iPad in a car and builds a car. That's not who we are. For us, technology has to be driver-centric. Technology has to help the driver experience a better ride, more comfort, the kind of driving experience they want. So from a technology point of view, I'll do the simple things first. Level 2 ADAS on the vehicle. Blind spot, lane departure control, front end collision avoidance, all of those things, including lane keeping capability from an L2 autonomy point of view. But also from a technology point of view, we have a 12-inch center TFT, fully configurable. We have a 10.25-inch center stack screen as well, fully configurable. And what I love is, going back to our heritage, one of the modes on our TFT is a heritage mode, so you can change the font to look like one of our old analog labels, including the last digit reversed, which is what you expected to see from Alfa Romeo over the years. First execution of Uconnect 5, the award-winning Uconnect 5 on Alfa Romeo. But, you know, the PR guys I talk about this all the time, we alphabetized it. So we've added characteristics into our configurability, which is very much about driver control. We have one setting that actually lets you measure your drag race time, if you want to measure your drag race time, only on track. Got to qualify it. But the fully configurable displays allow you to characterize it the way you want it to. The other thing characteristic for us, Alfa Romeo, is our DNA selector. Every single Alfa Romeo has a DNA selector. So people ask, what does that mean in an electrified world, or in a hybrid world, or in the case of plug-in hybrid? What it means for us is when you go to the A mode, or the advanced efficiency mode, you get over 30 miles of pure electric range. They're over 30 miles of pure electric range. The average American drives less than 30 miles a day. Not me, but the average American drives less than 30 miles a day. So you could literally drive most of your day on full electric charge, go home, charge your car again, and take it out the next day. The N mode, or the normalized mode, allows the best balance between electric drivetrain and the power of the engine itself to give you that balance between comfort, performance, and electric usage. Dynamic mode gives you full stability. You go to the dynamic mode, it maximizes the power utilization of the battery and the engine together to give you the best dynamic performance. And also, when you go between the D and the A, it changes steering, it changes throttle, it changes shifting patterns. So it's truly selectable and customizable for where you want to drive every single day.
Moving down, you do get climate control buttons here that look fairly easy to use, and the tactile feel to them is very good. So nice, like jet fighter switches here, and really cool, all told. Right down here is your drive mode selector. So, you know, the DNA of the Alfa Romeo brand. It does look like you get a Qi wireless charger right there, as well as a 12-volt power outlet and a USB-A and USB-C. You do get your choice of transmissions depending on the powertrain that is powering yours. I do know that there is a 6-speed in the plug-in hybrid version. Interesting choice to downgrade the number of gears on the plug-in hybrid. And then your volume scroll wheel right here. I really like that. If you're not going to put a traditional knob, let's put a scroll wheel. These have traditionally worked very well in my experience. Electronic parking brake, and yes, a reminder that you are in something very special from Italy. The seats in here are very comfortable and supportive and have an interesting look to them as well, with the stitching pattern on them, and of course Alfa does emboss the logo there in the headrest.
But from a standpoint of the interior itself, as I said, we offer the 3 trim grades. We're going to offer leather. We're going to offer all the things you would expect from a premium brand. I think when you get a chance to sit in it, one of the things I think you're going to really be surprised about is the second row radius. This is a very efficient package. And the second row radius is very, very good for a C-segment vehicle. I think it's pretty much best in class.
Climbing into the back seat of the Tonale, while this is a very small in stature crossover, I'm sitting behind myself at 5'10", and I have plenty of room back here. The rear seats are firm but not uncomfortable by any means and have a nice pitch to them, even though it does not appear that they recline. So when you get back here, this is about all that you get, which is not a bad thing. I do not see any heat functions on the rear seats back here. You do get power switch gear and some nice contrast here on the door. You do get map pockets on the back and a fold down center armrest with a couple cup holders. You do get 2 vents on the back of the center console with a switch to change how open those vents are, and then some additional USB ports back here. This is a very narrow vehicle, and so the middle seat, while you do set up a little bit higher, it's tight, but you could get 3 children or 3 5'10" or smaller adults back here without a problem. I just wouldn't take them all the way across Texas in the back seat, in the middle of the back seat of the Tonale. You would definitely want to be sitting on one of these perforated leather seats here on the sides. All right, parents, while I don't have a car seat here right now to test this out, I will say that the lower child seat anchors are fairly easy to get to and are noted here with these markers here. And then because this is an SUV, being able to lift the headrest, get that lower tether around through here, and hooked to the back of either of the outboard seats, not that center seat because of the pass-through, should be very easy, because even though this is a very spacious rear cargo area, it is really easy to be able to reach in, hook that up, and tighten it into place. Well, there you have it, gearheads. A very quick rundown of the newest Alfa Romeo to hit the shores over here in the States. This one is very special indeed, because this one was actually flown over for media purposes, and we will be seeing more of these in the first quarter of 2023. If you really like this, I will put a link to Alfa Romeo's website down below, because this is a very distinct brand that is making an absolute comeback here in America, and I am here for it for days. If you want to know more from us and what we are doing and driving before it is here on the channel, be sure and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're notified every time we post a new video. If you want to see what we're driving before it is here on YouTube, go find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all at GT Garage Talk. And you can find our award-winning podcast at gtgaragetalk.com or on your favorite podcast platform. But until next time, gearheads, bye. Nothing like having everybody listen to you while you record. No pressure. This minute, nope. But this really feels more spacious and roomy, and I would, no, I don't like any of that.